Hello, I'm Scott Bogey here with Isaiah Diggs ahead of his Fury Challenger Series fight against Gilbert. I think it's Mejia, is that how you pronounce it?
Uh, yeah,
Yeah. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, sir. How you doing, man? Thank you for having me on your show. Or-
That's completely I'm
Yes, sir.
completely fine. Thank you for coming on today. How has the training camp been for this fight?
It's been good, man. Just been grinding. Me and my cousin, who's my coach, we've been just grinding, and man, yeah, it's been really good.
And like you're saying, your cousin is your coach. How has that been for just getting yourself into the MMA world?
It's been real good because it's a person who's close to
Yeah.
me. So it's like we know each other, and he knows how to work with me. I know how to work with him, and things like that. And he's just really knowledgeable and really good. So it works out perfect, and it's generally just us two. So it's always like a lot of one on one.
And I guess also with the fact that he is family, he's not gonna like tiptoe around you. If you're not doing something correct, he will just say it because at the end of the day, you are family. You can't squash any beef.
Oh yes, yeah, exactly. He doesn't hold back. He lets me know for sure.
And with this fight, I wasn't too sure about this. It's a Fury Challenger series. How does that obviously compare to the Fury shows? Because obviously you do have that contract with them.
I truly don't know. I've never understood how it works. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it means like you're getting closer to maybe fighting for a belt or maybe fighting for something serious. I truly don't know. I just know I'm showing up and fighting November 22nd, man.
Exactly. And how do you see this fight taking place?
I just see myself winning. I mean, that's number one. I can't give you like there's no specifics on how you do it.
Yeah.
I just know I show up, I fight, I'm there to win, and that's what's gonna happen.
And in your last fight, it was against Kyle Todrank, who and you did get a decision victory in that fight. How did you feel like that fight went for you?
I feel like it went real well. He came out, pushed the pace. He's a great fight. I mean,
Yeah.
great fighter. He's tough. You know what I'm saying? He just won his last fight, so I mean, like I said, he's doing good. But I feel like I came out and I showed that I can continue to compete with all these high level guys who are supposed to be the best guys from Texas at 145, undefeated, all that. I just got to keep proving that. So,
And was there anything about Kyle's game that you weren't really preparing for that he surprised you with?
no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think he came out and he fought how he would fight, and I just feel like
Yeah.
we were just more prepared for that moment. You know what I'm saying? He fought a good, like I said, he was tough opponent. He came out and he fought hard. So I give him all the credit for that. But we were ready that day. We were ready. We came
Yeah.
and just pushed
And
the pace.
with in Gilbert, do you feel like you're going to be coming into like enemy territory? Because I'm pretty sure Gilbert does train out of Texas.
Yes, I mean, I've every fight I've had except for one, I've been in enemy territory since even amateurs. I have
Yeah.
always fought at their home state in front of their home crowd, literally every fight I've had. So to me, it's just at this point, it's normal. I'm used to being the guy nobody likes. They're booing. At first everyone doesn't. I'm so used to it at this point because even Toad Rank was pretty sure trained in Texas.
Yeah.
Um, uh, who I fought for him. He trains in Texas. I'm breaking on his name right now. Toro.
Tony Toro.
Yeah, Tony, and then the other
Pena?
Pena. Yep, he trained in Texas. All three of them, and then if you go to my amateur, if you look where I fought, they were all in their home states, except for one. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be getting a lot of boos and stuff as I walk out. So I'm used to it
Uh,
at this.
do you like to play into that, or when you're in the cage, do you just block that all out?
I block it all. I mean, to me, it's just fuel. It makes me want to
Yeah.
prove now that what I'm saying more that like I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna prove to you in front of everyone that I'm the best here. I'm the best right now. And so um it doesn't bother me that they boo me. It doesn't bother me one bit at all.
And looking back at your career, how impressed are you with all the names that you've been able to achieve? Pena, massive big name in Fury, Tony, big name, and then Kyle, big name. You've not had any small opponent. You've got the big names. You've shown up, did what you did, and got the victory.
Um Wait, ask the question again. Sorry.
So how do you feel like knowing that all the fighters you've fought have been big names?
Um, I just feel like it shows that we're willing to fight anyone, anytime. We're not patenting our record like what a lot of people do. Fight
Yeah,
these guys who are have 50 or like they're barely 500 or under 500 records. Like our whole goal is to come out and show that we can beat the best. Because when you get to the big show, in the UFC, you don't get that luxury. You're gonna face
yeah.
eventually end up facing someone who's tough. So if you do it now, you get it out the way. You know what I'm saying? You get those nerves of being in a big fight like that, things like that, out the way. So to me, it just keeps showing that, like we tell them, I'm willing to fight anybody, anytime, and it just shows that you can't argue with who I've beaten you. There's no one can argue say, oh, he fought a bum, he fought this. Like I've even as an
Yeah.
amateur, no one I've ever fought has had more than one loss, other than I think maybe one guy, and that was because the guy was supposed to fight pulled out 2 weeks before the fight.
Yeah, and speaking a little bit about your amateur career, you were fighting you did have one fight in LFA, an amateur. How was that? Because obviously they don't really do that many amateur fights in LFA.
It was a great experience. It was in Vail. I had never been up there before. It was a great experience just to get to be on that stage, and fight on a card with them. I mean, like you said, they don't do a lot of amateur fights, so just for them to give me that opportunity shows they must have seen something in me or something like
Yeah.
that. So I was just very thankful for that opportunity to be on a stage like that and to be able to perform and showcase what I could do.
And all your professional fights have been in Fury. Do you feel like that is now your home?
It can be. I won't say it would be home all the way yet. I think they're a great organization. They help us try to find fights. You know what I'm saying? They do their job. Like they're really good. They're
Yeah.
pushing people to the UFC. You see it. They're getting more and more guys to the UFC. So we're more of like just whoever can get us fights at this time. And like I said, they've been doing it. So they're
Yeah.
a great organization. Right now we're with them. We're rocking with them. And we'll just go from there. After I think this is my last fight on the contract. And then from there we'll see, what opportunities open up.
And like you're saying, they do push guys to that UFC level. I think it was just this year, 12 guys from Fury was on the Contender Series. Is
Mhm.
that one of the main drawing points for you that got you to Fury? Was that you can see that progression?
Yes, that was one. Seeing that they're getting people to the UFC, that they're getting I mean, even not even to these, but to even just the contenders, the
Yeah.
opportunity to show off that they can get to UFC. That was one of the deciding factors. Another one was them just saying that you're in a 4 fight contract and our goal is to get you those fights. It's not like, which like LFA is great, but sometimes you can get lost in the mix because there's so
Yeah.
many people. So you might only fight maybe once a year, just because there's so many people and you're not on a 100% contract. So that was another thing we liked about them.
And obviously, it is November 22nd, your fight. When are you looking to try and get back into the cage, as long as all goes well in the fight? Are you looking for like an early January, February fight, or are you looking to have a wee bit of time off?
Early January, February for sure. I do want my Christmas this year. Again, like that's what one thing was. I'm glad the fight's the week for Thanksgiving because last year I couldn't even eat like that at Thanksgiving. Everybody got to go home and I was stuck. So I do want to have my Christmas, but yeah, January, February, we're one of those people like we'll take one right away. I don't plan on stopping training. After this fight, I plan on keeping myself in shape. So if they do call short notice something, I can take it and fine.
Yeah. And how do you feel about a tournament format in organizations? I know like PFL, they have their year-long tournament. Here in Europe, you have Octagon, who has their year-long tournament. I'm an organization, Cage Warriors, where you have two fights in one night. And now, in just the latest Fury card, they have their own wee tournament of the bad motherfucker, where
Mm.
they have that fight. The two winners are now fighting at Fury 100. How do you feel about tournament fights?
I mean, I feel like it could be a cool thing. That could be something that's cool because it makes it even more interesting.
Yeah,
Because it can match people up who probably might never have ever fought each other, maybe. Um, and it's just, I mean, it's a tournament. I grew up wrestling and stuff and being in tournaments, so it's like it makes it almost even more interesting in a sense. You know, you got the rankings, you got, everybody's chasing this one title, or I know like PFL or whatever built towards like money,
Yeah.
so like the prizes. So I think it could be something that's cool, especially you have the right people in there involved in it and things like that. It for sure can
And
be.
at least with tournaments, you do know exactly when you're going back into the octagon.
Yep, exactly. Um,
And sorry.
here, no, I was gonna say yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing. You're gonna for sure have a fight. The day you're going, it's like it's not waiting on a guy to deny. Except like he's probably gonna. If he's in the tournament, he's fighting.
Yeah, exactly. And like you're saying, you did your college wrestling. How was that?
College wrestling was amazing. It's fun, hard. One of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. But it was fun, man. Just getting to compete and just you're grinding every day. And the tournaments obviously are the best thing. Like that's the most fun you're gonna have,
Yeah.
traveling with your friends and stuff. So it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. I got to be a college athlete. It was amazing.
And speaking to some other people that's made that transition from college wrestling into MMA, they feel like now the tide's kind of like turned. How before it was kind of why you're not doing the world championships and that, staying in wrestling. How did you feel it was when you were transitioning?
Um, I feel like I kind of like finished my career, and I knew like I wasn't gonna continue to wrestle after. Like I
Yeah,
wasn't. That never was really my goal. I mean, if the opportunity presented itself to go and do that, I would do it. Like we might even try to wrestle in the U.S. Open. We'll do it for fun, just to try. So it really wasn't a crazy transition. Kind of transition easy because you already kind of have a background when you come to wrestling. It's a great background to start off with. Like I'm pretty sure it's the number one they say background to have to come in MMA. And it just everything kind of flowed from there. It's like I got the wrestling, then I started hopping jits and striking, and it just kind of was smooth. It felt smooth, honestly.
and while you are looking for fights, are you willing to take like grappling matches on that just to keep yourself active?
Yes, actually, that's something I really want to get into. My jiu-jitsu coaches keep, man. It seems like every time there's a big tournament or something, I either have a fight coming up or something happens. Like every time, and so I've missed them all. But that's like even one thing they said, like, man, you need to start competing and do that stuff. So yeah, I'd be down to for sure do it. If somebody ever offered that opportunity, I would love to try it. I like to compete, man. Competing is fun.
And if we're sitting here this time next year, where do you think you could be? Do you feel like you are getting that contender series call up next year, or where do you think you'll be at this time next year?
Yeah, getting that UFC contender. Actually, I say being in the UFC, not just the contender series call, because I don't mean you're in there.
Yeah.
I say like in the UFC, like that's where I see myself 2025 in the UFC. Just getting it in, man. Just trying to, do my thing.
And how did you get into MMA? Obviously, you got started off in that college wrestling, but how did you get into that?
Really, it just me and my cousin one day were talking. Like I had just COVID had just hit. We were talking. I didn't know what I wanted to do because I hadn't got my degree yet, and I didn't even know if I wanted to go back and get it, which I did. I ended up getting it, but I was like, bro, I don't want to work a 9 to 5, whatever. And he just was like, we can fight, and I was like, I mean, I'm down. He was like, but the only way I'm gonna do it is if you're gonna take it serious. Like, if we do this, you need to, like, it ain't just for fun, Like,
Yeah,
if we're doing this, we're doing it to be world champions, not to just say we fight. And I just like, man, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm ready to go. And then you see all the guys up there, and then I've always felt like I've had a bigger calling than just sitting behind a desk. You know what I'm saying? And just
yeah.
doing the everyday wake up, go to work, come home, yada yada. I've always felt like I've had a bigger calling for that. And I was given gifts by God, and that I need to use them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to waste it. And I know a lot of people where I'm from that like they had God given gifts, and just you see them now, and you're like, there's no way that's you. Like you're just caught up in a cycle every day, waking up, going to work. You know what I'm saying? Which they could be happy,
Yeah.
but it's just I've seen it too many often. So that's just yeah, got into fighting.
Well, that sounds great. And I know on November 22nd, you're going to go out there, get that victory, and we'll see you in the bigger and better things, hopefully in the UFC very shortly. is there anything you're wanting to add or anyone you're wanting to shout out?
Um, I mean, I just will say I give the glory all to God. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I always want to say. I give all the glory to God. Thank you for the opportunity just to be on your show. I tell you, hey man, don't forget about me when I get to the UFC. You don't forget about me. Um, and I give a shout out to everyone who's been a part of this training camp, who's helped me in all the trainings. They knew who they are. It's a long list, all of them. They're very helpful, and I thank God for them. That's really it, man. Thank you.